Okay, you can just start over.
Okay, we are live now, but no viewer yet. Don't worry.
It's okay.
Chef, at any time, you can.
Anytime. The moment you say 3, 2, 1, we'll start.
Are we guys ready?
Okay.
Wait, got viewer ready, right?
Done.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
Shall we start?
Yes.
Very good. A very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Niklesh.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Chef Rob.
And today we are here to show you a live demo of about how to make a scone, home style scones. We have a couple of ingredients here. We have two types of flour. One is a strong flour and one is a low gluten flour. We have some sugar here. We have some milk powder, some salt, okay, and we have water. We have eggs and this one. 1 second, let me organize the ingredients. Rob, can you give me the butter, please?
Yeah, sure.
It's a very simple recipe where you take the flour first.
Okay, so Chef, what is the purpose of using two different kinds of flour here?
The flour I'm using is very strong, so I'm trying to neutralize it with a flour which is not so strong actually. If you have an all-purpose flour, you can use the same flour also actually.
So with the all-purpose flour, would we still require to use the baking powder?
No, in the case of, because all-purpose flour already have some kind of aeration or some kind of baking powder into that, so you don't have to use it. So let's say I have some hard butter. I'll try to chop this butter. I'll just chop the butter into small pieces, as small as you can. It's easy in that case. If you see, I have a mixer of KitchenAid right now there. When you're making a scone, you can use two type of method. One is a crumble method, which I'm doing, or a creaming method. Rob, you didn't ask me this question about what is the creaming method, right?
So what is the difference between the two then? Why would you choose to do a crumble method here?
You know, the creaming method is where the amount is too much, and what we do is that we take the butter and the sugar and we cream it.
Using a KitchenAid?
Using the KitchenAid or any other blender. Okay. And in that case, once your butter and sugar is nicely creamed, white and fluffy, then you add the eggs into that. Okay. Other liquid ingredients, and then you can add the dry ingredients into that.
Okay,
but in case
so will be the same?
it will be the same.
Okay.
But right now, because I'm making a small amount of this, I'm just using a crumble method, which is more easy at home.
Easy to
and
control.
yeah, it's very easy to control at the time. If you see this part, what I'm trying to do is that I'm making a sandy texture. I don't keep this flour too much into my hands. If you try to have a look, I mix it, I leave it. If you try to, I just pick it up, I rub it like this. So what I'm doing is that I'm rubbing the flour with the butter, and if you see slowly, the color of the flour is also changing. Can you see this one now? It's a very easy method. You can do it any home. Even if the recipe is double or triple times of what I'm doing right now, I still prefer to use my hands to do that part. Rob, if you try to have a look, I still keep some little amount of chunks of butter, so that later on, when I make my tea cake, okay, this can add a little extra moisture into that part. So if you see this part now, it's a pretty good sandy texture right now.
So you wouldn't recommend completely rubbing the butter in?
No, I don't recommend, because I really want this texture to be like this, and I want a little chunks of butter to be there, not too big.
When it's baking, right?
Yeah, exactly. Once this is done, I can add my other dry ingredients, which is the salt, the milk powder, and the sugar. And the process is very easy. I try to keep it very simple. I just try to mix it. So it's still a dry mixture. Everything is very nice and simple. I can still, I can feel it with my hand. It's literally like a sand kind of thing. And I still don't mash the butter into my biscuit, because I want my scones to be a little bit, little crumbly, little flaky, For that, I don't want to work too much on my flour. So as this, you guys can see this right now. It's a very solid texture. Everything is perfectly fine. Now I start with my liquids. This example, I take the liquid is something, you know, when you work it out, different countries, different temperature or conditions, it may happen that some flour, the absorption power of the flour is more or less. So I still try to control it out. Eggs, I still use everything up. You do it out, please. I still, if you see, if I don't, I'm still not working too much on that. This is the first time you're working scones?
Yeah, no, don't be far surprising.
But you must be making a lot of scones or eating a lot of scones in UK.
Yeah, I mean, my family are very big on these kind of traditional types of savouries and things.
But you are
So,
more...
yeah, I mean, for me, I've never really dabbled so much in making these kind of pastries. So it's very nice for me to learn, and I'm sure it is for all the viewers as well. You know, but for me, yeah, of course, being British, it's very important to have this kind of cake in our culture. You know?
Okay. Now, if you see this, there's some liquid, some dry, some this part. I never add all the water together. I try to just check it out slowly that how much I can handle. I don't try to add too much of water. As I say, as a pastry chef, when I do a recipe, I want to be in total control. I don't want to do everything out, okay. I add something and say, oh my God, you know, something is wrong into that part. I want my recipe to be totally according to the way I want it. And if you try to have a look, see this now. There are a little bit flakes into that, a little dry, and I want it to be exactly like this. Because later on, when I bind it together, okay, I don't want a scone to be a tea cake kind of a thing. It looks too much gidgy, but I want a little bit dry and a little bit of this part. At this stage, I can add my raisins into that part. You can have a look.
Okay, so if we're not using raisins, is there anything else that we could put inside?
I mean, you can use any kind of dry fruits. You can use blackcurrant, you can use, let's say example, the green ones, the dark raisins, whichever you want to do. You want to do a savory kind of a scone, then you can take grated cheese, maybe parmesan. But if I'm using parmesan or any kind of grated cheese, I will not be using it on the top while baking, only in the filling.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, when I used to work in the hotel sometime, we used to make ratatouille spoons. So we used to order the ratatouille mixture to the kitchen and say, guys, can you please give us some ratatouille mixture, dry ones, not too liquidy or not too sticky kind of a thing, and cool it down and we can use it. But at that time, you have to be very careful, don't use too much of a quantity because the structure of the scone is more important. The filling can't be too much. So I have some extra flour here just for dusting, and I bind it together. If you use, I don't use too much of, I try to. Now this is what is very, very important. If you see this part, this is very, very important for me. So I keep it a little dry and a little wet.
So the center will be very moist, but the outside will have almost like a dry layer on the top, right?
I don't need a rolling pin for that. If you actually ask me, you know, people use rolling pin and kind of a thing. As I say, I want my dough to be a little bit dry and crumbly, so I cut it into half. I pick it up like this way. You see the dryness is still there, right?
Yeah.
So I make it out. Whatever extra mixture is here.
You know, you're going to be creating layers with this, right?
Yeah, we are creating layers. We try to do 6 to 7 times depending on the structure, and I still keep on dusting a little bit flour, not too much.
Yeah.
But I still try to cut it with a little bit of flour in this way. Second time, if you try to, I cut it, but I do a different way. This is a little bit moist, right? So I put it on the top of this one. So the dryness of the first layer and the moisture down beneath one, yes.
Okay.
The layer will be still there, okay? And I still do that.
Will that have any effect on the final product?
No, I actually want it to be this way. As I say, I want my scone to be a little bit crumbly, a little bit flaky, and not like kind of a doughy kind of a stuff.
Yeah.
So, and you see this part. As a pastry chef, it's very important that whatever you do, you're in total control of what is going to happen.
So let's say, for instance, if we wanted to do a chocolate version of this, what would you recommend changing in the recipe?
I mean, I never try a chocolate scone, but if I have to try one, what I'll do is very easy. I take out maybe 1 or 2 spoons of the flour out of that,
So you would
and I replace that 1 or 2 spoon flour
with some cocoa
with some
powder.
cocoa powder kind of a thing, yeah.
And then you change out the raisins for maybe chocolate chips. Or
Maybe
something.
chocolate chips, or maybe, let's example, the black raisins, maybe
Yeah.
the cheese, or
Okay.
anything, any filling you want to do that. But I don't want to use any filling which is too moist
Yeah,
or
of
too
course.
sticky, because that will affect
Will affect
the texture.
Of course,
So
yeah.
again, even if I do that part, can you see this part now?
Yeah, I
This
see.
is the one which is a little bit sticky, a little bit uneven, but a little bit moisture is there, so I'll put it on the top.
So with this, you're creating more evenness with the.
I'm
dry
creating the
batter,
flakes.
right?
I'm creating the flakes, so when I finally be ready with my scone and I break it after baking it, the flakes are visible.
Yeah.
And if you try to have look in any of the case, I never actually work too much on my dough. I'm not trying to mix it too much. I'm not trying it to, like, you know, I'm not trying to form any kind of beauty.
Yeah, of course, yeah, definitely.
How many times you have done it?
It's already formed.
4.
Yeah.
So I take a little bit more. Do not try to add too much of flour. If you do, you can see that I'm dusting a lot of flour
Yeah.
on the top. But when I dab it,
It will all
some
spread out.
some spread out, some is on the part of that. But if you see, it's getting a little bit smoother.
Mhm. So if we add too much flour, we're going to have a very dry end product.
Yes.
It's very important to be careful with how much we apply that.
Yes. This is the 5th one. You use your sides in. You know that as a baker, you don't have to throw it everything out as much as possible. You can follow your recipe, and there's nothing wrong if you add this one. This is the last one I'm going to do. If you feel this one, you will add it. You add it. It's part of the recipe. And this is the last one. Okay? This is the last. Can you see? It's too much of dryness,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's
So
quite
I will
dry.
just put it on the top of this one. Now, some people who cannot control the temperature of the dough, or don't know how to work it out to such a soft dough, I can suggest them either they can chill the dough if they want to. It's not necessary. It's not necessary at this stage to chill the dough. You can always cut it first, and then you can chill it. I mean, you can either layer the dough like this, flatten it up, and then you can chill it, and then you can cut round or kind of a thing,
Yeah,
so that you get a
more
more
even
cleaner shape.
things, yeah.
But when I make my scones, I don't do that because I want my scones to be as rustic as possible.
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense, definitely. So if we was going to say if we was going to do this for commercial use, we was going to be selling these, or even perhaps just putting
Yes.
on a buffet line or something, would you recommend actually chilling the dough first, freezer, chiller, or something?
If you're doing a production, if you're doing a very big
Beneficial,
production,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
If I'm doing a very big production, then
Yeah.
I know exactly that, you know, this is the kind of dough I have, this is the quantity I have,
Yeah.
and this is the shape I should do, only rectangle maybe. That's an example, so I know how many spoons will be coming out of that. Or I know that if I'm cutting out round out of that,
Yeah, you
I know
want
that some of
wastage
that
as
will be
well, yeah.
wasted,
Correct.
and I have to re-again,
Yeah.
work on the dough. So it's up to you. So now, my dough is perfectly fine as of now if you try to see. Okay, it's perfectly good. So what I'm going to do right now, let me just clear this space a little bit. So this is what I want. It's not too sticky, it's moving out, right? It's very easy. I cut it with the same part. As I say, I don't want, when you do something like at home, you don't want to make it too difficult. It's not too thick, if you see. It's
Yeah.
very important to see the thickness of the thing, because if it's too thick, it will be raw inside when you cut it. So I just cut it because I'm doing a home style one. I do it very simple, just only thing I have to keep in mind is that it's not too much of a different size or a shape, otherwise the baking may be, I just remember this time. So if all of them are together, I just take it up, arrange it nicely in my tray. At this stage, if you want, as I say earlier, at this stage if you want, you can actually keep in the freezer for some time, or for a longer time also. Rob, can you help me out? By the time I clean up this, can you put it in the freezer for some time?
Sure.
Maybe by the time I do this part. So if you saw this, it's very easy and very, it's not too difficult to make a scone at home. We will be freezing it for some time, and then we will be doing some egg wash, because I don't want to bake a scone which is too dry on the top, otherwise the scone is too dry. Rob, what do you talk about academy stuff for? By the time I clean up this table.
Oh, like I said yesterday in my live, the Academy's been around for a long time. And we're more or less we're just doing this because we need to offer something to you guys. You know, the academy is closed now because of the problem that we're having with the coronavirus. Okay, so we won't stop here. Okay, as much as possible, we will be putting out some demos every day, every few days. You know, just a little something for you to learn at home to help kill the boredom a little bit. You know, so yeah, I mean, for us in the academy, it's been a big change over the last few years. You know, we started 10 years ago. Pastry was 10 years ago. Culinary around 7 years ago. Okay, and I've been here for almost 5 years now, and I can see the changes that are happening. You know, every year we're getting better and better. We're doing something new. The innovation is all around us. You know, so even this is just another step for us. We will be improving all the time. We will be doing some different things and, you know, really trying to bring more power to the people in terms of what we can offer you online as well as inside the academy. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, let's take it out from the freezer. Let's see how it's looking out. You can freeze it for a longer time. It's just because of a live demo. I'm not picking it for a longer time. But otherwise, if you're making it at home, you can freeze it for 10-15 minutes. Actually, you can freeze it longer. I mean, for future work, whenever you want to make it at home, make it like this, and you can store it. And when you want to just bake it, take it out and bake it. So now I have some egg wash here. People who do not like egg wash, what you can do is that it's just a simple egg and a little bit of water.
Yep.
If you don't like egg wash in your scones, what you can do is you just take a milk wash, pure milk. Exactly. When I do that part, I don't put too much of that, okay? Because otherwise the smell is there. Also, it's too much of a dark color on the top.
So what will the difference be if we're using milk then? Will you see any difference in the color?
Of course, when you're using milk, the color is not
It
so
won't be so
dark.
brown, yeah.
But when you're actually using the egg, the color will be too dark.
Yeah.
In the starting, if everybody remember, I use two type of flour. I use a strong flour, which is a rose flour, which has less gluten, and the second flour has high gluten. But as I say, we can use an all-purpose flour. In that case, we don't have to use the baking powder because all-purpose flour must be already having all-purpose flour. You may have to use add the baking powder. But in case you're using a self-raising flour, that already have a baking powder to that. Okay. In India, a couple of years back when I used to work in India, I used to make scones. But in India at that time, we don't have you don't have a rose flour, or you don't have a flour which is less gluten. So we used to get only one kind of flour. So it's the only thing is that I used the same flour we used to use for bread or cakes or sponges, anything, and I used to use the scone. But if in case I'm using a strong flour also, if you try to see, I don't work too much on my dough, so there is no chance of gluten getting formed.
Yeah.
So even if you use a strong flour, I mean, if you don't have it, you can't help it out. In that case, it's fine. So in this case, now we've already done it out, and you can take some sugar, okay, or you can have some pop sugar kind of a thing. Like I have some here. It's up to you. Please don't use cheese, because when you use cheese, what happens is that it burns. It burns very. It gives a very burning taste, because by the time the scones take time to get a golden color, the cheese will be burned. So this is the one we are using right now, and we have an oven. Now, let me put it inside, and then we talk a little bit about the oven. I'm using about 185, 190 degree here right now. Okay, this is a homemade everything out. I take a temperature in this one. I fix up my time to about 11 minutes, and I start it. Now, is it working fine, right?
Yeah.
This is the one. Okay. Meanwhile, while it's getting baked, let's talk about something about academy. Why don't you come inside? Sure. Yeah, you take it. Academy of Pastry and Culinary Arts, we opened in 2010. Oh, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Just come in with me. We opened Academy of Pastry and Culinary Arts in 2010 in Malaysia, and it's a fantastic school which has been 10 years right now. Great faculty, beautiful professional program. and we ensure that the students in the 9-month time are trained in a very, very good way. It's a good culture here because we train students, we train professionals, we train teachers from other colleges. We have professionals from more than 40 countries who travel to Malaysia every year to take classes with us, because we invite a good number of master chefs in academy. Every time people ask me this question, Chef Niklesh, why do we invite so many master chefs in Academy of Pastry Arts? There's a simple reason. We are chefs, we have been working in hotels, and then we came to Academy to open the school. But we are training the students. What about training the teachers itself? How do the teachers grow? How do the chefs who are actually training the students, how would they grow? So we have made a structure that every year 20 to 25 master chefs, they could be MOF, they could be world pastry champion or master chefs, chocolatiers, bread makers, avant-garde cuisine chef like Chef Lipo. They come to Malaysia every year, take classes. We sell these classes to professionals to all over the world. And at that time, our chefs also actually take classes. They take classes from these master chefs. They learn from them. We practice. And after that, then we sit together and we decide, okay, what a learning we had, why don't we now filter it and pass it to the students? So it's an ongoing cycle where the teachers are learning from the master chefs. We learn it from them, we practice, and then we share it further to the students. It's a fantastic kind of a structure. I don't think there's any other pastry chef in the world which is actually trying to do so many classes at this level. Culinary we opened in 2013, so it's been 7 years. Fantastic program where we start from basic, like how to cut the vegetables, make soup, stock, sauces, eggs, potatoes, where every week we cover about one topic a week, and that's how from basic we start all the way to 9 months. They learn cuisines like French or Spanish tapas or molecular or Italian. So it's a very well thought program in culinary also. As our pastry is concerned, I think it's a good program. I mean, you are teaching culinary.
Yeah.
How do you find the program?
I mean, for me, it's excellent. It has everything. You know, it covers anything that anybody could want to possibly know about cooking. And, you know, we don't let it stop there. Like Chef Niklesh says, you know, every year we are training ourselves. You know, so we spend a lot of time outside as well of the classrooms, practicing, learning new techniques, you know, learning all the theory, things that we can share with the students to really bring a full experience, you know. So, yeah, I mean, for me, we're making tremendous steps.
You know, it looks very, it's a very good feeling because we will be finishing, we'll be completing about 10 years of Academy and Asia Pastry Forum. You know, Asia Pastry Forum, we used to invite 1 or 2 chefs every 3 months, every year. And I think 2011, we thought, why don't we invite more chefs? There's so many pastry chefs and culinary chefs like us who want to grow up. We want to have a fantastic learning, and everybody cannot afford to go to US or Europe or out of Malaysia, or let's example out of their own country. It's expensive, you know. You have to pay for the hotel, you have to pay for flight, and then you take the all expenses of food and all. So we decided, why don't we make a forum in Malaysia where invite these chefs. About 22 chefs are coming every year, and then people who are based in Asia, let's example. They can choose their classes. They can take one class to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 classes. So it's like a yearly learning.
Yeah.
Malaysia is not too expensive. It's a very affordable. It's a country which is not too expensive at all. Hotels are pretty decent. Food is very cheap. So I think it's a very good way where you have a fantastic learning as a yearly learning one time every year. November is perfectly good, and they can choose topics. And it's not too expensive though. Let's look at the scones right now. Okay, so right now the scone is going on, but to make this demo a little bit more faster, we already have some scones ready made for you. We just try to reheat and show it to you right now. Oh, let me just put this one also. Yeah. So, do you have any question, anybody? Rob, do you have any question?
Everything's covered for me, Chef. You know, I think we should leave it down to the viewers. You know, like I say, we did a live yesterday, and Our idea is we're going to post the recipes online, okay, for everyone to see so they can try it home themselves. If you do have any questions, okay, please feel free to write them in the comment section or on the video itself. We watch the videos afterwards and we will get back to you as soon as possible, okay? For me, the main thing is don't be shy, alright? You know, it's not easy watching a demo and having ideas inside your head, okay? We don't know everything in the world, right? But we work to our strengths, and whatever we can help you with, whatever we can offer you guys, we're more than happy to help, you know? So, while we're doing the scones, okay, well, they're reheating, something that I wanted to show you actually. For me in the UK, it's a very big thing to eat the scones at high tea, okay? So, for us, we will always have some kind of tea or coffee or whatever to go with it, you know? And I thought during this time, I know Asia especially is very huge on green tea. So I thought during this time I would show you how to make green tea from loose leaves, okay? It's not from a tea bag, okay? It's loose leaves. So we're going to show you how to make this because we want it to be, you know, as traditional as possible. We want to show you guys that you should be drinking tea around this time, okay? A lot of vitamin C, antioxidants, things like this. It's going to really boost your immune system during this time. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we boil some water, okay, and we are going to pour a little bit of water inside the teapot here, okay, and then we will pour some inside the jug, because actually for green tea, we don't want the water to be boiling, okay, because it's going to damage the flavour of the tea. Green tea, as you all know, I'm sure, is quite delicate, okay. So what we do is we pour a little bit inside here, and we pour inside the cups just to warm the cups up, okay?
This is very interesting, huh?
Okay, so this is just going to warm the cups up, preparing us for when we want to drink. It's very fast only, okay, so we can just pour that back into there now. No problem. And then the water that is inside the jug just cooled down a little bit, okay? So what we will do is we will take our tea leaves, okay? Usually for something like this you want 5 to 7 grams, okay? 5, 7, 8 grams, something like that. But of course it depends on preference, how strong you want the flavour to be at the end. So we're going to add our tea leaves inside. We won't use everything because we do have quite a lot here. Okay, so we'll leave a little bit.
It also
in
depends on how long is the infusion actually.
Of course, yeah, definitely. So we take our water that's not so boiling anymore, it's cooled down a little bit, okay? And we're going to fill up. Now because we don't have so much time here, okay, we did use a little bit more than we usually would.
But you can infuse it till the time we take out the scones.
Of course, yeah, we're going to allow that just to infuse a little bit, okay? Well basically, yeah, that's how you make green tea from the loose leaves carefully, okay?
This is it.
But of course if you have a tea bag or something, it's going to be much easier for you. But during these times, not everything's available. Yeah, I know people are rationing things and panic buying, which for me personally, I do not advise. The government has already said that there will be more than enough supplies for everybody, and I'm sure it's the same for any country that you're watching in now. Okay, so
space, I can take out the scones right now. It's ready. So the one which we have put one is already in the oven and it's taking some time. So we have taken this one out right now. So it's beautiful, it's nice, it's perfectly good. If you want to have something, let's say example, I can always take out some icing sugar and I can dust it here only. It's up to you whether you like icing sugar or not. I like it, so it's like space of this much. I think it's perfectly good. Scones are ready. A cup of tea. Well, it's too hot, so I'll take it out to
pour out the tea now. Okay, so there you have it. Our scones, freshly baked scones, and you have some green tea to go with it. Perfect.
Guys, I know it's at this moment of time, it's a fantastic way to have some good learning. APCA will be doing a series of different topics, different classes. So today, me and Rob has done scones. I'm sure day after tomorrow, Chef Angelo will be coming back and doing some kind of butter pudding or some, some sauce, and some other chef will be doing it. So stay tuned with us, stay connected to us. I'm sure there'll be a lot of learning coming in the future. We'll be very happy or very encouraged. If you have any question or a doubt, please do send us to us. And right after this demo, we will be putting the recipe on the Facebook and Instagram also. So people who are looking for recipes, it's there already in that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Have
much,
a nice
guys.
day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rob, that is the thing.